Hello, if you can hear the hail on the window, I do apologise about that. It just is what it is. Today we're going to be looking at 5 audio products under $250 that I think are really interesting. The first thing is this. It's called the Kiwi Ears Allegro. It's really cute, it's really small. Now it looks like a little game controller, but what it actually is, USB interface on one side and 3.5mm and 4.4 Pentacon on the other side. It comes with this really cool little flat cable that's got a bit of texture to it, USB-C to C, and it kind of naturally folds itself over so you can have your DAC and then have your phone on the other end. It's really picking up out there now. Yeah, it's cool. It has volume buttons on the top. It's just a little baby DAC and it works really well. It's cute, it goes with you everywhere, it's quirky. It sounds good. It's not gonna blow, you know, your £1 million DACs out of the water or anything, but it's very cool. And if you know me, you know I really like Kiwi ears, so this is a fantastic little addition to the collection. Next up are these puppies. Now they are affectionately called the R1280DB from Edifier. I'm sure if you've looked up Edifier speakers before, you've probably seen them on the likes of Amazon, but they're really good little desktop speakers. They have a solid input selection, so you have 2 line ins via phono. They give you a phono cable and a phono to 3.5mm cable for, say, connecting a phone. I guess phones don't have headphone ports these days, but that's fine because it also has Bluetooth, so you can Bluetooth your phone to this set of speakers, which is really handy to have. You also have optical and coaxial, so perfect for a little TV setup at home. On the side, since they are powered, you have the volume controls, the bass controls and the treble controls. And yeah, really good sounding speaker. It's kind of like the, I think it's the P5 that I reviewed not long ago, P12 maybe. Really good speaker, pretty much the same speaker in my opinion, although this does have the amplifier built into it. They are active powered speakers. Versatile, plenty of bass, good clarity in them as well. Not particularly ginormous. I mean, it's like a 4-inch cone, so it's relatively small, but it's not huge. They don't have any wall mounts, unfortunately, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. And yeah, they even come with an optical cable and a little remote, which is handy too. Next is another Kiwi Ears product actually. It comes in this standard Kiwi case that I think those of you who have used Kiwi products before, you will understand, you'll recognize this one. They look like this, like that. Wow, look how shiny and crazy they are. Pretty big IEMs, they're pretty big casings on them. They're called the Foretta, and I'm not going to go into many tech specs. They come with a braided cable, which I think is all right. It's fairly cheap. 3.5mm on the end, silicone tips included, nothing fancy. But the thing with these is there's so much treble. These are attacking your senses. Really not great to listen to in my opinion. The first Kiwi product I've ever sort of pretty much disliked. I mean, even their cheaper stuff, you know, it's not my favorite, but at least it kind of fits the sound profile I like. These, for anyone but the most crazy enthusiast, probably not gonna like them. So yeah, that's a meh for the Foretta. Next up is the latest pair that I've received, and they came in this like cool little pelican case looking thing. The QKZ Hades, I believe in collaboration with Hawaii Bad Boy, who I like watching the content of, but I also like his sort of collaborations. And these things, the Hades they have a very similar cable to the IEMs I just showed you, the Kiwi Ears, so 3.5mm on there, and I'm sure you can see it's sort of like a plasticky, sort of meant to be tangle-free cable, and to be fair, it does a decent job of being tangle-free, as you can see. No, all jokes aside, most cables aren't exactly tangle-free, but it's a 2-pin on the end, and the IEMs themselves look like that, so pretty like wacky, to be honest. Reminds me a lot of like, you know, early 2000s, late 90s PC gamer stuff. That's the kind of impression that I get of these. Now, the thing with the Hades is if you like 808 bass, or you like old school hip hop, rap, if you like something with a lot of bass in it, these are going to be perfect for you. They're a little, I wouldn't say uncontrolled, the bass is just a lot. Now you get a decent amount of clarity, there's a bit of texture there, the soundstage isn't ginormous, so it's good, adequate soundstage. Not going to be gaming with the Hades, but they're kind of different and interesting, and yeah, if you're into hip hop, I think you might like the Hades. Definitely not on my top 5, top 10 list, but an interesting product nonetheless. Next is a product that I find is basically the opposite. So if you remember my review of the EA1000 by Simgot, you'll know that I really liked the forwardness of the vocals. I liked the smoothness of the treble. It just seemed to be tuned to absolute perfection. And the Simgot, I believe these are the EA1000, are just another level. These are the EA1000, if I can get myself out of focus here. And they're metal shells, they're relatively heavy with this sort of white faceplate on them. They have this really beautiful cable. I mean, if you look at that, it's quite thick, it's quite dense. It's relatively easily malleable, like it's not a super stiff cable. And then you get 3.5mm on the end with a plug that I would say is a little bit too long. It's just, it could easily get snagged and you could break it. But I really like the quality of the cable. It's just a 2-pin. You get a sort of hard leather case with a little pouch in there. You can put your little dongle DAC or whatever in there. And it's got magnets, which is very cool. And then I always like the Simgot nod, or the Simgot sort of salute to art and science on the back of the case. And yeah, this set of IEMs, it is wonderful. This set, I don't tend to hold on to them. I tend to give my IEMs to friends and family to sort of not only get them to sort of enjoy what I get to enjoy, but also because sometimes they just need a pair of earphones and I have a cheap set lying around. This set is one of the few that I think I might keep, to be quite honest with you, because there is an incredible forwardness with the vocals, particularly female vocals just sound amazing. The smoothness in the treble, like there's sparkle to it, but it's just so well tuned. There's a good amount of sort of mid bass. I wouldn't say that these are going to be like a bass head's dream pair or anything like that. There's good bass, but really the thing that makes these just so unbelievably nice is the focus on the upper mid range and the smoothness of that final third of the frequency response graph. Fantastic. If you like rock music, but you don't want to have the music sound too distorted or really like everything's being mushed together, the clarity, this is the best way I can put it, is when you listen to music with the EA1000, it's like watching something, you know, you go from say a 480p TV to an 8K computer monitor, just instantaneously. Everything looks sharper. It's not overly done, it's not overly processed. It just, the clarity, the transparency, everything with the EA1000, phenomenal. I could not put a bad word in about these, so that is definitely the highlight of today's episode. So that's my selection of under $250 audio products. I think the EA1000s are the standout. I really like that cute little Allegro sort of DAC amp thing, is really cool. And I do appreciate, by the way, at the end of this video, that this is not one of my normal videos. Work has been super busy and it's only going to get busier. You saw the video I put up the other day about reviewing things. I don't mind reviewing things. I quite like reviewing things. It's what I'm good at. It's what I've been doing for sort of the past 10 years. But I just don't want to do I don't want to review everything. So I put up a video the other day about the Galaxy S21 FE and about how I think that you really don't need to upgrade anymore. Phones are getting really good at getting old. That video was more about the sort of story and about the whole sort of moral to it, and that did really well. And on this channel, I put out a video about how I don't really care about doing reviews all the time now. So I just kind of want to diversify the kinds of videos that I'm making. This is probably going to be one of the last sort of product-based things for a long time. One of the exceptions to this rule is that I have the Kiwi Ears 02, which, you know, I could have included on this list, but to be quite honest with you, I think it deserves its own video. So maybe I'll do a review on that in the coming months or whatever. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will be back at some point. Yeah, I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.